All right, it's running,
How you doing?
so any comments said now will be recorded. And to be expected, getting a hard time for having it on Father's Day. I appreciate everyone meeting. Truth is, it's hard to find meeting times, so I wanted to squeeze this in. Appreciate those guys that can make it, video for those that aren't, and I will keep this to 15 minutes or less. I do have 8 points to go through. I will read some of the points, and the other points I'm going to just highlight. The first one, point number 1, I want to just bring clarity to. In fact, point number 1 is probably the most important point, and I should open up by saying we're putting parameters around the prayer time, and the purpose for that is flow of service. This is new, so if you're like, man, I didn't know this, or I didn't do this, or I'm so sorry. When I asked each one of you to do this, I didn't give any parameters. In fact, I think I said something along the line of, hey, share your thoughts, try and keep it brief, and then a time of prayer just as the Lord leads. So this is new, it's different. Do not feel bad if you're like, I did this 4 weeks ago and I didn't know. You couldn't have known because it's new. So with that said and moving forward, also in point number 7 is, if this doesn't fit you, I get it, man. If you're like, I don't know I can operate in this, just let me know. No hard feelings either way. We've shifted a little bit, and I hope everyone continues to do it, but there's other opportunities to use gifts. All right, here it is. Number 1, I'll read this one. When it is your week of prayer, all the songs that are going to be sung for that Sunday are going to be sent to you. Missy's been doing that. We will continue to do that. Please listen to the songs on the list. If you're not familiar with them, get familiar with them. If you're familiar with them, then clearly you don't need to listen to them. You already know. Also, please have the last sermon in the current series listened to prior to coming up to pray. Again, we're trying to build a momentum for the service based on those 2 things. After listening to the songs that are going to be sung the morning, you're going to be praying and caught up on the series that is being preached. So you've listened to the songs and you're caught up on the series that's being preached. Please have your thoughts. And here I have 2 pages that just say this about 8 different ways. Please have your thoughts prepared around either a song that has been sung that morning or the sermon series that we are on the sermon that was preached last week. So here's what's just going to be on repeat. The parameter is have your talk geared towards one of the songs. I didn't call Andre, I didn't ask him, he didn't see this, he didn't know the parameter. Andre does this, I think, just about every time, and he gave a perfect example. What Andre did this Sunday fits perfectly, like A+++ on the parameters. He hit the song, he pulled in the passage that the song went to, he expanded on it, and he did it in about 2 to 3 minutes, and he said a lot. It was well thought, well prepared. And so I'll continue to do that. But sermon was, Andre's was just, by God's grace, a good example of what this was. John Trayer historically does a nice job of pulling out the last message. He'll be like, hey, I took these 3 notes on the last message. These were 3 thoughts, or the series. It doesn't have to be the sermon, or, man, the series is on Ephesians, and as I was reading Ephesians 2, this popped out. So either the series or the song. So in short, right there in the beginning, your thoughts / passage of the scripture that you read should be centered around the songs for the week or the sermon series being preached. The Sunday morning prayer time, and I don't want this to sound harsh or anything, but the Sunday morning prayer time is not a time to speak on whatever you want or something that the Lord has laid on your heart outside of the message or the songs that we are singing or the current series we're in. That's new, so I've never given that parameter before, but that's the parameter that's being laid out. The Lord's speaking to you. You all are doing devotions. You're probably teaching in other areas. This is not a time to bring that in. All right, number 2, and this goes without saying, but I created this document to give out to new people as well. So it's going to be, just keep that in mind. So the prayer is directed towards the Spirit moving within the speaker, the church family, and that our hearts are open to change, and the text being preached on. There's 0 issue there, but for anyone new, like, well, what do I pray? For the direction of the service and the Spirit moving. All right, number 3, no one, to my knowledge, has done this. But this goes without saying, and with adherence to the above parameters, the following is not possible. But for excessive clarity, the thoughts or prayers not to be directed towards current events or something that's currently happening in the news. Thoughts and prayers are to be centered around the songs. Again, I said 18 songs we're singing or the sermon series. So I don't care if someone says, hey man, happy Father's Day. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about, hey, there's a lot of turmoil going on now and there's a lot of protests. Let's pray for the protest. Should we be doing that? 1,000 times. It's just not during this time, right? Because now what have we done? Flow of service. All this is flow of service. Now you just directed someone that's hardcore political. There's Democrats or there's Republicans or man, I can't believe Trump or I can't believe they're protesting on Army Day. And you've just killed flow of service. So it's not a time for current events. Please, you guys are all smart men. Happy Father's Day is not what I'm addressing here.
So you're talking about more things that could be divisive.
Divisive?
Because I mean, there's certain, I could think of something that's going on that people would know about that ties in with the song.
Yo,
you know what I mean? So you're not talking
if
about
you can
that.
tie
You're talking about like things that might.
Things that popped up and things like this, divisive stuff. We'll leave it that political. But even things like, boy, this world's so hard today. Like, because now instead of moving towards worship, we're like, man, I've been sick of this. But I can't. I think you guys are all got it. If you can tie it into a song or the sermon series, that's fine. If it's lighthearted, like I said, I think you've got it. You've got it. Yeah, but good question. And I'm still figuring this out. So this is the first time we put parameters. I'm still figuring it out. This was not created because something said, but as we go forward, just making it abundantly clear what we're looking for. Number 4, please feel free to come up with the bullet points on a paper or notes to organize your thoughts on both what you're going to say and an outline for your prayer. Even though it's 2 to 4 minutes, if I was doing it to keep me locked in, I'd have a little piece of paper. I want to talk about these 4 points, but that's personality and that's different. I didn't want to give the thing where it's like, oh, so all right. So number 5, please be prayed up the week of your prayer time and have rehearsed what you're going to say. What I hope to never hear is that I have not really had time to think of what I was going to say until now. So if you have not had time to prepare, send me a text and I can fill in for you, or simply skip that week and go straight into the sermon. I haven't noticed that with anyone here, but again, as we go forward, if there's ever a time for you or anyone we bring on where you're locked up, I don't want someone to go in and be like, hey, I just had this thought this week during the song, because that's when you start losing focus. And it just can start to lose the flow of what we're going for. It is number 6. It is expected that you have rehearsed and gone over in time. So here's the time. Everyone wants to talk about time. Time what you are going to say in the prayer that you're going to say. This will help you keep it succinct and within the time allotted. How long should the prayer time be? This one's hard for me to say. Some weeks, and I know we put out 2 weeks. Again, we're always getting better. I wish, or 2 minutes. We put in 2. I wish I wanted to have done that because it's not a time thing. It's not. I'm not locked into a time. I'm going to say 4-minute hard stop, and here's why. 90% of the songs we sing are 4 minutes or less. So if you that's a lot. Like during our time of worship, it's 4 minutes is the average time of a song. Andre said a lot in 2.5 minutes, and he got a Bible story in. He told a story. Just you can get and he prayed. All within, you can get a lot in 4 minutes. So I'm going to ask you to rehearse it. If it's 5 minutes, cut it down. How long should the prayer time be? This one's hard for me. As some weeks you may need 4 minutes to express what the Lord's placed on your heart based on the songs we've sung or the series we are in. And others weeks you may only need 2 minutes for your thoughts prayer. If when you rehearse your talk, that's why I'm asking you to rehearse it in prayer, and it's more than 5 minutes, then please get it down to 4 minutes. You guys are gifted communicators. We don't just open up and have a sign-up sheet for people to pray. You're gifted. You all teach in some capacity. You can do this. The average worship song we sing is 4 minutes long. A lot can be conveyed in 4 minutes. And then number 7, I understand that some of you may be interested in opening, not operating in these parameters. This is new. Number 7 is just saying, hey, if you're like, this doesn't fit me, this isn't who I am, it's just not, it's not what I signed up for. You've changed it. All those things are true. Just let me know. We'll get you plugged in somewhere else. There's a ton of other opportunities we can get you squared away. I'm hoping each one of you continues because you do a phenomenal job. Number 8, in 99% of the time, you do this. Why all the parameters? We're putting an emphasis on flow of service and believe the above parameters with the time limit, focus on our thoughts on the song and morning message, and a focus on rehearsal, that it's going to help with the flow of service and just keep things moving. We're doing it in all areas. It's not just you guys. We're doing it in every aspect, whether it's announcements, the songs we teach, transition times, and we're just trying to keep things going. I will ask if there's any questions that would benefit the group. At the same time, if it's more on a personal level, for the sake of time, get. But any questions or thoughts of clarity that you guys could ask before I turn off the video?
Not a question, but just a statement. I think it's good. I think having parameters is good, because I know a lot of times you feel like, man, I feel like I'm not sure if that was a good job or a bad job. So I think this helps give some clarity in what's expected. So it makes a lot of sense, and it's pretty straightforward, but I like it. I like the clarity.
I think it's really good for me. I've only done it twice, and the first time it was just like, I totally felt like I went way over. You know what I mean? I was
30 minutes in, like.
And then the second time I felt like it was better, but again, like, I didn't know how much. So this is good to have that.
We're all getting better. If I would have done this in the beginning, we'll get, that would have been best, but we're growing as a church, growing as a team. Anything else before I release you guys and turn off the video? All right, hearing nothing. Thanks a lot for coming out. If you want to chat with me, I'll be here. If not, thanks for coming on Father's Day.